Quizás, 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 perhaps. I got a message from a channeler earlier today with that song, and I haven't heard it in so long. It's actually really one of my late grandma's favorite songs. And I don't know what came over me because I was going to start this video entirely differently, but Luna's even here. We have the cat spirit guide going right now. And I did choose to do this reading with 3 different spirit guide intention candles. Technically 4 because Cat is here for all of you, all of us, as well as Luna because she is going to jump up. Hi, Luna, you can join. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the mic here, but if you have anything to say, Luna, please channel it through here. You guys can choose. Either a message will come through for you since this is a collective, use your own intuition and be led to the pile or technically the candle that is meant for you. I'm going to use the same tarot deck and the same cards for every pile. There isn't going to be anything different or unique other than the guide that comes through. Obviously, the messages will come through in a unique way since I've chosen 3 different guides here. That is the Sun and the Moon, which is the Eclipse spirit guide, very transformative. I'm not going to lead you too much here. And then you've also got the Peacock here, which is very much about expression and depth. A lot about expression and depth is what I'm getting here. I don't even think that is pride is what it says here, but and then you've got the dragon spirit guide, which is about alchemy, embodiment, transmutation, really also a very high frequency. So depending on any of those energies, take a second, take a deep breath in. If you've got your legs crossed, I don't think that I can do a reading without there being a bit of chaos involved. So I appreciate you for enjoying my form of reading and content. And if this message resonates for you, or if you've worked with me before, please leave a comment on how it does. You can also go over to my website if you'd like to work with any of these spirit guide intention candles, or take this reading into a personal one-on-one with me so we can go in more depth with your spirit guides. Okay, so pile 1, this is you here, the Sun and the Moon. Pile 2, the Peacock. Pile 3, the Dragon. Deep breath in. Pile 1. Let's begin with your tarot cards here. Oh, there's the word depth. Transformation and depth. That's funny. Did I say it twice? All right. Already interesting here for pile 1. I feel a lot of overall clarity coming through right away. So there could be like a focal point in this reading for you. And if so, I'd like for you to set that intention or clarify that intention now. And because I feel a very distinct alignment with your masculine and feminine. This is clear with this guide here because of the fact that the Sun and the Moon are unifying. It is an interesting guide that came through because there was a combo energy I was working on with the unicorn and the raven, and this was the vote for the collective, or from the collective actually, of torchbearers, and they asked for someone brought it up, the Sun and the Moon, and it led to this eclipse energy, because that's technically what the Sun and the Moon combined is like. It is this like transitionary period where they align and they cause a very big shift. Luna is literally gonna make herself seen here. Baby, you never do this. What is going on? That is so cute. She really is like here for you, okay? She is my anchor and she is my healing cat, and I chose whether or not to keep the cat candle going and bring it in, and clearly I made the right decision. Let me let's see here. Okay, we're doing all right. Let's do another shuffle here, baby. If you'll let me help me channel these messages for me, okay? All right, we're gonna do like a 3-card spread is what I was feeling. 1, okay, we'll take it. 2, 3. And it's interesting. I feel like again this is coming up with the clarity, like the first card coming up face down, like you didn't quite clearly see the message going in, or the lesson going in, and then these two coming out together, feeling like again with that confirmation that I was picking up on, where you're very focused on a direction or very focused on a specific aspect, and this is coming through as no longer fighting connections or help or aid from other individuals. Interesting that we have 54 and 55 here. Actually, is that 6 6? I can't tell, but it looked like 55, but it is a 6 and a 6. So even the illusionary following numbers there, you could be further along than you originally intended or thought you would be. Because the reason I'm saying intention or thought is because of the swords here. And it's interesting that I'm reading your present and future before I even see the past here. Let's see what the past has going on. The Lovers in reverse here. Again, confirmation that you are no longer, you're going to be opening yourself up for connections. You're going to be accepting help. Maybe after a loss of a connection or a loss of a friendship or lover or partnership. This could be family. This could be companionship. The fact that my cat is so empathetic right now, she really wants love and attention. And it came up literally the moment I hit record on the camera. She came in the room and started acting like this. And like I said, she is my spiritual cat out of the three, the most spiritually activated. She picks up on everything. I call her my anchor. When I do Reiki sessions or when I'm in astral projection, she comes through and really anchors me in my physical body as I'm in the astral. So these could be things you're working on. If you've got a familiar or a pet, lean on them during this time. I do get a lot of cocoon energy, and a lot of this pink is and purple is coming up. I want you to pay attention to that because there's a lot of that coloration on the cat candle. And again, with the bottom of the deck being the Tower in the reverse, I feel like you're saying goodbye to major transitions or cycles. I think you found your way of autonomy, your way of no longer fighting or resisting this way of the universe helping you or bringing in connections. You did the work to actually discover the pearl within and recognize that you were the love that you needed, and that this love or this relationship that left your transition or of this era of your life, interesting transition era of your life. I don't know why the fuck they got me speaking all poetic for you, but I feel that is something. Maybe even this lover came in a way that was very romanticized, and so you feel a little slighted or a little on guard against things not being fair. Especially here with the Lovers in reverse, the Three of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. I feel like you're very like boundary based, like you're a little cold with your boundaries in some ways, like, and I think you could be a little more flexible because the boundaries that you've created have multiple like things in order, like almost like I'm getting like the tower here, like there's lots of things to protect this tower you've been building, and you're actually thinking that it's like being under attack by anything that you're letting in, almost like this wasp's nest. But what's beautiful is you've balanced the masculine and the feminine, even the blues and the purples. Again, the yellow, blues, and purples. You see it, yellow, blues, and purples. Like I'm just getting a lot of these hues and complementary colors. Like, pink goes well with green, literally a complementary color. And that's like the third time I've used that reference in a reading. So I'm hoping I'm either finding the same collective that is needing to hear that. Pink goes well with green. Like, you complement these contrasting energies that you can maintain is very complementary to the reality that you're creating. You may not see it that way because there's a big aspect of you being distinctly different, and I resonate with pile one here already. What's funny is I picked this candle last. I swapped it out. I had the wolf in place. Okay, so wolf could be another guy that is in reference here for you, is in connection to you. Because I feel that I last minute was like, no, wolf isn't correct. It's got to be the sun and the moon. And what's funny is that the connection of that is actually interesting because the wolf is really wonderful at unifying all aspects of ourselves. They celebrate the pack mentality of every member being valued. And I feel very consciously this energy here I'm realizing is very Aquarian as it's pouring into the other shell. And this is even mirroring very Gemini because like one half, the top and the bottom of the shell, right? Of the oyster, and it is coming through as like a divine connection, divine partnerships. This doesn't have to just mean, sometimes it's taken only in a way where we love to romanticize things as a collective consciousness, and I think that's sometimes beautiful. Like, let yourself imagine a love that is meant for you, a love that is written in the stars for you, because why not? Now, when you start to gaslight yourself a little too far where you're giving up on parts of yourself, then I think you need to have some acknowledgement and some accountability on where you're giving away some of your power and why, so that you can then bring that energy back to the core and remember that you are a beautiful whole vessel. Every part of you holds value, and your ability to defend and also while defending transform, oof, very powerful. And sometimes not underappreciated. Okay, and I love that, the Aquarian energy coming up here is giving sort of the star frequency, and I just have to peek. Three of Swords underneath. Yeah, the ending here, 3-3. I just feel like the ending of sad stories. Like if this is the moment, like we were talking about kind of romanticizing or fairy tales, this is the moment where like the fairy godmother comes into Cinderella and is like, you want to go to that ball, honey, you are going to that ball. And you're like, what? Look, Faith on the bottom of the deck, and it says hope, inspiration, and rejuvenation. Let's see what you have here. I'm going to pull. I've chose these three decks here because I felt like they would signify hope. I don't know why I feel like the collective needs that right now. And look, five. I just see fives all here, even though this is 6-6. I really feel 5-5-4. Okay, interesting. Let's see. Spirit, what do we need to hear? Hope. What is this message of hope you have for the collective here? Beloved in reverse. Look at that. I do feel like you've given up maybe some hope on love finding you, but on the bottom of the deck is Blood Moon. The moon cycles could be really powerful for you during this time. And look, there's the wolf. I was picking up on the wolf spirit, and I feel that's the confirmation here of its energy. And so we're going to leave room up there and put that card up there. We'll see. I feel I'm going to read these: love, reciprocity, and intertwinement. Interesting energy, very much with the snake here about this transformation. This lover feels like there's been many loves in your life, many energies that have acted like muses. And I feel like in some ways it has been to the detriment of the relationship. And now there is a storyline of that being replenished with appreciation and commitment and an honor that comes through, a reverence that comes through with this. Illusion, uncertainty, and narcissism. Exactly the confirmation I'm feeling. This is no longer the case. This is no longer going to hold weight over your journey. Let's see where that is. No longer being held back by illusions or relationships that are love bombing you in a way that causes you to be victim to their abuse. You will no longer, sometimes then we start to look, because if you've been love bombed in that way before, you start to look at any love that comes on in really intense ways as love bombing. But in ways, you just have to look at all of the actions, not just the words and the emotions, but all of the actions follow through, to really be more clear and not be in this place of judgment. I don't know why I feel like I'm talking to like a friend. Like this feels like a conversation between friends, and your guides really want you to remember that you do have shoulders to lean on. Fire is here, held, and perseverance in reverse. I do get a sensation of that, like not wanting to go on any longer. What's the point? For who will love me? If this is a voice that you're listening to, I want you to stand against it right now and say that voice holds no power, because it doesn't. This is a hopeful energy. Fire, we gather around fires to remind, look, bound. We gather around fires to remind ourselves and to share stories of hope, even to connect with nature, because I think of that with fires. I think of being outside, even in the cold. Look at the smoke, signal coming through. Like not being afraid to open up and accept help where needed, okay? There's something that, you're really holding yourself back by holding on to this idea that you cannot, like really holding yourself back, accept help. What does help look like to you? Does help look like somebody only doing things through complete reciprocity, like only because you're able to also give to them in ways that you see as equal value? Or is it expect the unexpected? Listen. Okay, hold on, let me listen. On the right path in reverse here. I got that card the other day, but upright. On the right path. You think you're on the wrong path. You think you haven't heard everything correctly, that you don't have the energy to go on. You only see towers ahead and pain. Wow, look, and then there's the Wheel of Fortune, but it's hidden. You've been holding space for this pain. You've been diligently working, collaboration, determination, illusions being broken, for your lineage and for you and for any love you will ever hold again, that were ever held, that will ever hold you again. You'll never be again. See how these like vines, they don't hold the same energy of this bound frequency here on the bottom, okay? You freed yourself, you've opened up, but then still created room to be held entirely. I even see like a baby. I never seen that before. There's a baby that's being held in their arms, and I've never noticed that because it sort of blends in. But that's actually really interesting because it's giving me this like inner child work, and I'm even getting this uncoiled snake and swords. Like you see these like sort of energies here, they're giving me the same frequency of like piercing the veil. Even here the freedom is giving me this piercing of the veil, which is why this expect the unexpected. But you're sort of still holding space for the other shoe to drop because you've experienced so many you know breakthrough moments that have felt like you will at least have your bearings in a way that you've had to then transform through. God, I resonate with pile one so much. Let's see. I'm very interested what else Spirit has for you here because you're on the right path, but you just don't know it. And I want to tell you what, okay, let me ground myself here. I'm going to take a sip of water. We're at final messages here. I don't know which deck I'm going to read from, but I do want to tell you this deck here that's the tarot cards. Every little thing you do is magic. It has songs that are associated with each card, and I love that because I do that with all of my candles and all of my stuff. I do the same thing. So I love seeing people that follow those types of guidance too. Like they're connecting so many pathways. So the mood music for the lovers here is Lizzo, Soulmate. So you can look up and listen to this song, listen to the lyrics. And then Lavender and Fresh Linen comes up as fragrances. And I would guide you for the lovers for lavender and fresh linen. I actually would guide you to the Eclipse candle because it is literally lavender and cedarwood. It's very clean, very refreshing. Its numerology is the number 6, and then compatibility, life path, and alignment. Uh, their sixes look like fives. Okay, I'm just saying because I thought that was a 5 too, and I know the lovers is 6. I don't know why. Emerald, patience, compassion, and growth. Interesting. Let's see what the 5 of Swords has here for you. 5. Here it is. Okay. Stay soft. Mitski. Mitski. The fragrances of seaweed and fresh ocean waves. I'd guide you towards the otter for that. For the seaweed and fresh ocean waves, I feel crisp. You could go for the sea turtle as well or water spirit, but the otter feels really fitting for that. Eucalyptus and mint, and 5 of Swords feels really fitting for otter, even though the otter is so playful and so lighthearted. It can really help us break through some of those rigid concepts that we hold on to. Because the thing with swords is, though they are really good about boundaries and stuff, the 5s are about clashing and about like concepts like not merging easily or being valued as things being able to be true though not understood, or in truth being in the misunderstood, because there's sometimes just recognizing that people's realities and their placing is different than yours, and we have to accept that we cannot force them to understand their reality is affecting or causing harm, and there's why we create the boundary. But sometimes in us perceiving or shutting down or thinking that we can't navigate it properly, we react instead of responding. And this is where we don't create bridges, we blow them up. This is the 3 of Pentacles. We're not creating an opportunity for a lush environment of different biodiverse environment. So okay, the serpentine, renewal, calculation, and recouping. And then let's see here for the 3 of Pentacles. It says, Everything You Touch is Gold by Gregory Porter. These are the 3 songs, okay? And then fragrance is bubbly champagne. Bubbly champagne. Interesting. I feel for bubbly champagne, a really good one might be the cat, or Maybe deer, lemongrass, and lavender. But I think cat's really good actually. Jasmine, frankincense, and lemongrass. I feel like that'd be a really good bubbly champagne fragrance. And then success, money, magnet, and energy. Magnetic energy. Okay, Spirit, is there any other advice here for pile one? Here at the end of your reading, I'm feeling my mouth even feels like you're almost trying to get concepts across a lot, and there needs to be a just surrendering, and that is so hard to do, especially when you feel like you have so much wisdom to be heard, and you do. Your stories are meant to be shared. Your stories are meant to be shared. I also feel like there's a bit of playfulness in this piece. Like there's just this calm of your energy. I'm very much enjoying it. Your guides are very calm. They are, I would say, a couple more guides that come in for you. The bee is another one. Like I feel like a lot of animal guides are really fitting for you. So like if this is your first time doing a reading, I don't think it is for a lot of you, but if this is your first time, if you feel called to this pile, you got to work with some of my candles. I'm okay, because there seems some magic here. When you've got some like witchy magic energy. Candle magic is one of my favorite way. It happens just naturally. It's like gathering around the fire, right? It just happens naturally. You just sort of bond and create stories, and oh, that's what it feels like, a meditative energy, like a almost like a hypnotic, like when you're sitting there with a flame and you're just really hypnotized by the energy. You're on the right path. There's something to do with stargazing too, and letting yourself sit with the stars. I just don't feel any more advice for you, and I almost feel like there's just this continuation story of like love being seeped into the vessels of your everything you do, and that's a beautiful narrative, you know. So I pile one, keep doing what you're doing. I'm sending you all the love. Thank you for being here. Comment down below and subscribe, like all the things, and check out Spirit Guide Apothecary for more goodies. Okay, I'm gonna clean up your reading here, and I'm going to move on to pile two. Do 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 do. Yes, this is the Doug theme song. Pile two. I call on your guides. Please come through for the highest good of pile two. Let me check here. We're at 22. All right. Welcome, pile two. Welcome, pile two. Let's do your reading. Okay, you chose the Peacock Spirit Guide, which is expression and pride. And I also picked up on the word depth, and I did, when I was reading it, I couldn't tell what it said, and depth was coming through so loudly. And it's funny that the pile one did have the Eclipse candle says depth. So if that resonated, or you may have felt like there was a message in pile one for you, if you happen to be coming from pile two, hello, or pile one to pile two, hello. Let's take another moment of intention setting, whether it's your first time with this pile or you've already watched another pile. Let's take a moment to focus in on pile two. I've already invited in your guides and energies. I do have Cat going, like I had said in the introduction, that is here for everyone. Peacock is one of my least favorite arts. Funny to start off that way, but I am not shy about saying it, that I've done. I happen to choose three candles that I did, and actually the cat is photography, but that I did the art of. I did not the artist of all of the candles or the guides, but I do with the Peacock. I came back to it many times. It's a lot of y'all's favorites. I have a lot of people that tell me it's their favorite. I don't like how uneven the feathers are. I really wanted it to be like an even fan, and I can see like a little cut off, and it's partly because I went too big on the canvas and I had to create some digital feathers there to finish it off, and they would look weird if anyways, you don't need to know all those things, but I do think maybe you're focused in on too many of the details. I think one of the things people notice about this candle is just I did put a lot of gold in and like metallics into the feathers, and people really like how many feathers there are, all these things that just like I did love creating those aspects, but was just not what I initially intended, and part of the things that I nitpick about it because I think it doesn't look as realistic as I was trying to go for, even though I really was wanting there to be some magic to it as well. And I don't know why I'm sharing so much about this journey of the peacock, but I think that there was also I was doing the peacock artwork the same time that I introduced the phoenix one, which happens to be one that I used Canva to create the entire workings of the phoenix candle, and it was like looked so much like peacock because when I researched phoenix, they're very much connected in their lore, and so I was like, that's interesting, and I feel like peacock is like a continuation, even with the fire train that it carries behind them. There's also this celebration because you think about the peacock is the male, but the peafowl, though the female still has beautiful feathers and coloration when you look up close to their colors. And I love this depiction of the masculine energy coming through so flamboyant and being in birds, especially, and in peacock, especially, very presentational and very like, exuberant and all this color and flair and fashion. And I like that like the win you over with my dance and with my showmanship and with my way of even giving fun, because they're like they just have this like way of being, right? So let's see what there's going on in your life. There could be something to do with all those aspects that are coming through for you. I also do connect a lot with the divine masculine energy, and this feels like I happen to make this candle the bi colors with the flag. I didn't mean to do it, but it just so happened, and it feels like the most queer candle, that not to make it the queer candle, but it just sort of feels like that energy a little bit, and the peacock kind of represents that, though they're kind of aggressive, and I had to like balance out some of the energy because they can be a little aggressive in their energies of like showing off, and I also, when I looked in, I was interested to see sort of their connection also to the eye of God, and recognizing that I have always felt that way. I was very drawn to peacock feathers as a kid, even balancing it on your finger and stuff. There's just this natural buoyancy that comes from them, right? And just the beautiful colors. So there could be some like almost like psychedelic vibes going on for you. You could be very focused on color in your life right now. I love tapping into color magic and really paying attention to what I'm drawn to. Today I happened to pick gray socks, and I thought to myself, that's interesting. I tend to go for colorful energies, but I went for like a gray, like just very like stable and not too committal in these energies. Like I'm not too light, not too dark, and I just feel like that's interesting here with peacock coming through with all this color and vibrancy here. So let's see what's going on for you. I'm going to do a past, present, future. I really wanted my guides to just kind of take over today with the readings and not put too much intention in to the lots of intention, but I mean in terms of giving it one direction. The band One Direction could also be a vibe for you as well that you really enjoy. So let's see what's coming up for the past, present, and future for pile 2 here. Is this your card? Yes. Okay. So let's give me their present here. 3 of Cups, and then now. Ooh. Okay. I'm actually gonna leave it that way. I like it. I like it. Playing a little game here, and then on bottom of the deck, energy is the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Bottom of the deck energy always is giving me subconscious energy for someone that's asking there in the collective here. So it's showing me the overall frequency of your reading here, and I feel, look, the world underneath as well. I was gonna say the work is done. Like, you've done the work. 8 of Pentacles in reverse sometimes, like 8 of Pentacles upright, you're diligent, you're putting in the work. There's something that's paying off from past energy, especially past energy where you feel that you've been blocked off before from, and then you put more dedicated work into 77 in the bottom there. The Hierophant here blocking the 3 of Cups. There's been something, God, if you will, has been keeping you from your community so that you could build up the community frequency within and understand that you have every single bit and every tool that will always attract the individuals that are needed. And if those individuals are taking their time to come to you, it's because you're ahead of the game, darling. It's because you have made a path faster, and they just need to work their way through 8 of Pentacles, right? They've got to take their time to diligently finish the steps. They cannot rush it, though. You've completed it and you've stepped down and you've given it to the world now. You've let things kind of go out. Look, the Apprentice of Wands. You're attracting your your tutelage, if you will. I like it. This is interesting. And I do still feel that connection from pile one. So if you, especially like this Ace of Wands energy, I don't want to force you to go and watch that energy. So really, it will find its way here, what is meant to come to you from that pile. But I just want to point out that what is similar from pile one is there's a lot of connection to guides, like many guides. And it was interesting because I was kind of like shooing out pile one's guides, and some of them didn't want to leave. And I was like, okay, well, like you hang out, but like, can you give me some more room? Because there's like a lot of already like fullness here in the room, and I need a little more space for the guides to sit down and not crowd me. And it's interesting because they all are also giving me the mic, you know, they're giving me the moment, and I don't feel bombarded by them. So though there's lots of them here, there is like a oh, look, the actual number 5 that came up a lot in pile 1. Here, the number of change, and 3-3. I feel that came up as well in pile 1. So 3-3 is also connected to the goddess Hecate. There's things I'm saying here differently than I said in pile 1, so don't feel like you're missing out again. It's like almost counterpart energy, and I don't know why I want to say it that way. So 8 of Pentacles here, like you're another pile that's been diligently doing things and looking for your community, and you're feeling like something's been slowing you down, and it has been. You've actually been being held, I don't like the word held back, but you know, like a slingshot. You know, the thing is, like right before your big break, or like right before it gets great, whatever way you want to like take that energy, you're like kind of paused and pulled back in tension, and you're given an opportunity to see, will you stay stuck? Should you stay, or should you go now? And I feel like you've chosen to move forward and to progress. And this is leading you to actually connect with the individuals that have been watching you all along, not like in a creepy way, but like in a way that like they just know your frequency, so that they've been finding you in their journeys, so that, or looking for you in their journeys, and you them, like vice versa. This is not just romantic. This is literally platonic community. This is like you being in a place where you feel fulfilled by all of the energies around you, able to balance your also God-given gifts of being a channel, like them being able to understand, as someone, like I feel like you're on a mission where you are meant to help create new patterns or systems for people, and sometimes they will resist that because they don't understand that there is a change to the old way that the system operated in order to make improvements to it, in order to be better serving to the collective, in order to have room for growth of new ideas, and not be the only one that needs to be channeling or be the intuitive, you know, high horse on this governmental panel. Okay, I don't know. There seems to be like coven energy coming up here for pile 2, like you're finding your coven. And I don't know, like there seems to be even something to do with you heading up new, you know, foundational, like I think you want to change something in government. So I could be talking to the people that are meant to be like political leaders, like we're really changing over. If you are looking at sort of the age of Aquarius, so I know, like looking at different like astrological things, we could be looking at the age of Aquarius at different timings, but looking at the Western astrology's viewpoint of the age of Aquarius happening now, then I am getting a lot of this energy of you becoming a big vocal or a big voice, a champion, a champion of wands, a champion, a torch bearer, no longer needing to be the student. Like this is you transforming from the student into the teacher. And here with the moon and the high priestess, the apprentice of wands, the world, and the 8 of pentacles, there's a narrative of passing that down only good, no longer passing down through trauma. Some things were always given to you to be given on in a way that you would have alchemized, and not in a way that you would need others to transmute for you. I think the language I'm speaking is confirmation burp, excuse me, is 100% resonating for some of you. For some of you that feel left behind, please stick through here for me, okay? We're building something here that you will see at the end. There's like a picnic, okay? Like you don't just want the grapefruit and the this and the that. You want the whole picnic there, okay? Let's see the platter. The Hierophant has been guiding you for a long time. 9 of Cups, I knew it. It is in reverse, and I feel like there's a reason why these reversals are here, and I even feel called to bring acknowledgement. Reversal energy does not mean like you are, you know, I know some readers will read it as the complete opposite of the card. It is that, but I think the card's energy is still here, right? So whether or not you're in reverse or upright, the energy exists, the balanced or the unbalanced version of it, the light or the shadow. When we look at it as an opposite, we tend to think of it as a complete negative, or the, you know, oh wow, there's a whole flock of birds flying in the sky, like white birds. That was so weird. They were like white for a moment. The sun was hitting them, and I don't even know what they are. They're just like a huge, big old flock of birds in the sky, really up high. And I just feel I've lost my train of thought for a moment here. Oh, because I'm saying that the energy is still here, and when we can try to look at things in light and shadow, and then try not to go into negative or positive or opposite of the, if we think of it as more like gray, are you the pile that I brought up? Bring it wearing gray socks. I think you are. It's like more in the in between. Okay, you're not necessarily lost in either one. And you got the high priestess. This is very high priestess energy. Okay, the goddess Hecate, I did bring that up as well, is here, being able to stand, understanding the wisdom of all points of view, the mother, the maiden, and the crone. Okay, the maiden, the mother, the crone. I always say it out of order for some reason, because that's some of the ways that I speak. You've also got a lot of master numbers here with 38. I thought that was 33, 38, 44, 77. This is 11. And then you've got the number 5 with a chain. So 11, 44, and 77 are all 3 master numbers. And I just feel 144, 144, 14477. 144. And there's something about speaking in that. I don't know why. Okay, let's see. I'm going to continue here. Something about your guides is like very ancient too. You could resonate with that, especially with the elephant here. There's something about understanding frequency. Light language is coming up. Like the elephant. I have an elephant as a spirit guide candle. It's one of my favorites. They came through with so much understanding of frequency. Literally paths that you've not, paths, not paths, paths that you've never walked but have been walked by your ancestors, that you just feel led to walk down. Like it is sometimes going to lead you to the oasis that you never dreamed you would want to experience, but very much will enjoy. And that is this Knight of Cups here as well in reverse. Again, the reversal not speaking to you being out of alignment, but rather you mastering the shadow part of that cup. You can't move forward without mastering the shadow and the light part of the card. You can't just have, if the Nine of Cups speaks to celebration upright, then in reversal, it may lead to you not taking enough time for celebration for yourself, or even recognizing the things around you that are here to be celebrated, or feeling like I don't have the energy to celebrate because I've been putting myself through so much so much work, but I'm not giving myself the acknowledgement that I can kick my feet back, even though, because God has been blocking my pathway and been telling me that's the case, and I can't do anything other than surrender and give myself the acolytes that I deserve, and not in an egotistical way, because that's been handled here. You've worked through those rhythms. You've learned to completely release those patterns, but you do have wisdom to be shared. God-given wisdom. And there is a celebration to be had, a party at that, a picnic of your guides and your people that are willing to be at that picnic. Well, not willing, gosh, they would give anything to be at that picnic. So, and you're just not really even seeing that. Okay, you need to see it. You need to see it to believe it. You got to see it, but you need to dream it and cultivate it. Then you'll see it too. I don't know why. There's some performative aspect to you here. Okay, conjure. Yeah, conjure. Higher self, fertility, creativity. You're conjuring a new reality. Like I said, you're ahead of the game. I said that for you, Paltu. You're ahead of the game. Let's see here. Roots, ancestry, legacy, tradition. I can't make it up here. Sage. Literally, like you are walking a path, Sage. I'm like shaking for you. You're walking a path of harmony, acceptance, patience, tradition, legacy, ancestry, higher self, fertility, creativity. The Hierophant has been guiding you all along, and along the way, you've been leaving gardens, not seeds, darling, gardens that have been watered by the tears and the rivers that you have walked for generations, and that your ancestors have walked and cleansed. I just feel this sensation of reverence. I said that word in pile one. Reverence comes through in a really big way. So I really want you to be paying attention to what words you're speaking, because conjuring, roots, and sage, you are the current ancestor. I've channeled this before. Like, you're the current ancestor incarnation of your guides and of your higher self, and of your spirit guides, your ancestors, your whole things, all that, right? And anything you pass forward, it isn't just through blood or through DNA, it's through your relationships and connections and your impact on a day to day on the environment around you, in your mind, in your body, in your heart, in your soul, in your spirit, and then ever shining out past that, everywhere you walk, every store you visit, every person you interact with, how you interact with them, how you exchange, what energy you bring forth, what judgments you allow to be penetrating your consciousness about that individual. Are they valid? Are they coming from a place of fear? Can they be released, so that they also and you also can be seen as wholly human and also navigating a journey of wholeness? The lover, the lover's here, navigating a journey of wholeness. This doesn't mean held. This doesn't mean excuses. It means accountability. It means healthy boundaries, but in ways that allow for growth, that aren't becoming rigid boundaries, in ways of just avoiding or running away from the growth that is there for you, or the wisdom you're there to share. Showing up differently, holding space differently, conjuring different energy from the work you've done. This is a beautiful message, Pal 2. I really hope it is finding the people it is meant to, because there is a collective of us torchbearers. There's a reason I felt guided to do this YouTube reading, and I was honestly not in the place that I wanted to do a YouTube reading, but I said, okay, sure, I've been feeling the itch. It's time. I was going to do the Capricorn season. I didn't do one. I want to do the Capricorn season reading. This is kind of that, but not. It's just because I'm happy to record it during Capricorn season, but I just feel that there is so much transformation in a very big way, and I don't know how else to put that doesn't sound silly or like, yeah, but completions are, I mean, it's big. It's like, getting married, or a death, or there are just big moments, selling a house, buying a house, or going to college, going off to high school. Think about the biggest moments in your life. That was, leaving elementary school to middle school. Fucking hell, that's one of the biggest moments of my elementary school consciousness, right? He didn't have any other freaking things to compare it to. That was huge. I remember sitting at that lunch table and they started cussing for the first time in front of me, and I was kind of like a not like a goody two shoe, but I just felt like I have always not, I don't know, innocence is like, I hate the word innocence and naivete, because I feel like that's infantilizing consciousness in a way, of like children, or even of like neurodivergent people with autism. Like, I feel like I just wasn't in social ways ahead in those ways, and I was sort of needing mirrors to teach me. And I remember just feeling completely different on the inside, and maybe people around me were as well. Maybe you were. Maybe, I don't know, if you were a little kid that just started cussing and you were all into this, like being an adult. My niece is kind of going through this, like not really cussing or anything, but like in this phase. I can tell she's at this phase, and I remember being that 9-10 years old. You're right at that cusp of like everything is still kind of kid and magical, and then you're at the cusp of like really, you know wanting to be that adult, wanting to be seen as more of an adult, wanting to hold conversations that are kind of a little more wise or aware, but at the same time losing the wisdom that you had at that young age, because you would question things in such a way that was so innocent and not judgmental. That's what really it comes down to. It's almost like you start to put things through a filter of judgment as opposed to the filter of curiosity. Ooh, that's good. And I mean, I've had that kind of download before, but like Spirit's really bringing back a way of questioning things through curiosity and not through judgment, that is allowing for it to not have to challenge your own beliefs. I think I said something like that before in your reading, like, ask for guidance, dreams. Last card here, Spirit. Again, the dreams card is really giving me ask for guidance. Like, it feels like not being afraid to like ask your guides, also the people around you, how to navigate this dream going forward, but not being afraid that it's still your dream to navigate. It's still your path. Expect the unexpected. This card came out in pile 1 as well. I feel expect the unexpected here is another confirmation of like miracles. I even feel like as above, so below here with the way she's doing energy down. This is the goddess, I believe, Bastet. The depiction of her, at least it looks like it. So maybe that goddess is reaching out as well, looking into Egyptian mythology. The lotus is coming up here as well. Again, your higher self just being channeled very clearly. I keep being drawn to this puppy. I've not said anything about it, but this puppy here, he feels like a spirit pup. Like, I don't know if you had a pup when you were a kid or something that you really resonate with. It looks like one of the dogs I had when I was a young kid. When I was a kid, and when I was young. And I just feel like there's something confirming here about their essence being with you throughout this whole journey. So lean on them on the other side. There's a celebration of their essence here. All right, Spirit, is there anything else you want to confirm here? I'm going to take a moment. Grounding frequencies, even let me read your songs. Grounding frequencies, because I even just feel with the elephant, the frog, the sage. This is my most earthy like candle really I've ever made. I really love it. I use turmeric and then gardenia, and so it's like floral and sweet, because all of my candles are made with essential oils. So you got to kind of place out, like, most of the gardenias I had ever smelled, they were way too floral for me. But when I got this gardenia, and it's just natural gardenia, I just love it. It smells so good. And then with the turmeric, just perfectly balances it out and makes it a really beautiful, when it looks smell-o-vision. Use your clear gustance. I don't remember what one is is fragrance, but you can pick it up with your intuition. I want you to smell it. I just love it. It's super clean, earthy, sweet, a little floral, like a garden. I said you're leaving gardens. I think I said that for you. So 3 of Cups here. Okay, let's see here. Let's do the 3 of Cups. This has a song and everything with it. I want you to look up the song, pay attention to the lyrics, okay? So the mood music for the 3 of Cups here is Swaiti, Best Friend by Swaiti, featuring Doja Cat. I'm probably saying that wrong. Saweetie, featuring Doja Cat, Best Friend. So look it up. And then Deep Red Wine is a fragrance. For Deep Red Wine, I'm pairing candles for the fragrances that they're choosing. A deep red wine, I like that. Let me think. A deep red wine. The rabbit comes up, rosemary and basil. Maybe Hecate, lily of the valley, and patchouli, but maybe phoenix. But I still like Hecate. I could do the anointing of allspice on there for you if you wanted, because I like that. I like that for deep red wine. Okay. And then amber, friendship, cuddles, and sweetness. The Hierophant. Let's see what the Hierophant has for you. The Hierophant, the song is The Knowledge by Janet Jackson. The fragrance is frankincense and myrrh. That is definitely the Raven. I would say frankincense from the Raven is the perfect frankincense and myrrh. And then I might go. No, it's Raven. Okay, and then spirituality, wisdom, and cleansing. Yeah, it's Raven. Curiosity, adaptability, and energy. And then last, the 9 of Cups is Thank You by Bonnie Raitt. And the scent is Your Best Friend's Embrace. Your Best Friend's Embrace. You'd have to pick that one intuitively, but I would love the deer for that. Lemongrass and lavender. I really love dolphin for that. Apple. The dolphin's perfect for that. Your Best Friend's Embrace. Spiritual wisdom, humility, and protection. That's all I have for you, Pile 2. Take what resonates and leave the rest. And thank you. Let me leave a comment down below on how it resonated. I am going to clean up your pile here and put it all back in order and get ready for Pile 3. Do do do, ba da dum ba da da. I had to change the song that was coming from pile one. Dum-dum-dum-da-dum. I'm just making this one up because I don't know what I'm humming. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dee. Dee, set me free. Oh, we are on to pile 3. Are we still recording? Oh my god, I forgot I'm wearing a mic. I hope I sound okay. I started going crazy. Okay. Ooh, deep breath. Okay. Pile 3. Let's get into your reading. So, you chose the Dragon Spirit Guide. This is all about alchemy and embodiment, transmutation, higher consciousness, and also the elements at its core. So, you could be noticing the elements reaching out to you. This is not all the elements, it can be in ways, but could be very specific ones because dragons are very independently connected. Like, they're individualistic, very like they have a full consciousness to them. They are very much like an ascended version of you, a Christ consciousness at your whole, at your core. And so there's a way of like you having certain abilities or connections or resonance with things, or even like natural gifts or talents. So this is something that could be coming up for you for specifically manifestation purposes, though manifestation is only one of the laws of the universe. And the dragons here very much pay attention to the overall laws of the way the universe works. So you also could be connecting with your own unique dragon. It is a lore out there that we have our own unique dragons. And so not only this guide represents the dragons as a whole, because these guides in ways, much like, you have, if you have a cat, which I have cat going as well, that they have very unique spirits and essence and purposes and paths and things that they like. They may have tendencies that are like other cats or like other cats of their type, but it doesn't mean that that's the only thing that identifies them or that there is their purpose in them. And with your dragon, it could have very unique purposes to help align your own journey. I also drew the cosmic egg on the dragon. I don't know what drew me to do the cosmic egg. I just felt very drawn to connect the cosmic egg energy with dragon. And in research, I did find its connection to it as well. So I was like, I like this. I just felt like the egg of the dragon has always been very sort of, it's even like the cyclical nature of it, and it's also this protective. It's almost like there's many certain species we really kind of gravitate towards, and I think of like the horde that the dragon protects, or the like it's like energy. Especially in Western mythology, we've really applied a lot more of like aggression and anger to dragon energy. And so when I was connecting to it, I really wanted it to be a culmination of or a way to bridge all those energies without kind of having to follow only one or ignore another. Interesting. So all of those things could be signifiers or intentions and signs for your reading. So take what resonates from that and put another intention in here as we're about to shuffle. I am doing a past, present, and future. This can be, I didn't say this for other people, but this can be a 5 minute ago, 5 minute from now. It doesn't have to be like technically a far into the future or far into the past, okay? It is more just to get an overall energy on what you've been working on, what you are working through, and what you are working towards. You always find the best growth and the best path forward in the present. You're never going to find all of your lessons in the past or in the future because you're navigating them all now. Even the past moments are being navigated from a present consciousness. And so as you're working at that present consciousness, you'll work at different rates with those energies. I'm being drawn to the spiral here in the sun. The spiral is like the way of life. You're not really moving up a staircase, you're moving through a spiral downwards and upwards simultaneously. The as above so below reference came up in the pile 2 as well, so maybe that's something that's coming up here for you. But it is the whole saying is as above so below, as within so without, as the universe so the soul. So you are coming through some sort of embodiment or completion here. I feel 5 of Cups. Okay, it could be having to do with your emotions, it could be having to do with your relationships and leaving behind anything that was not serving you, or even closing out ways of like being run by your emotions. Yes, being run by your emotions before. You're celebrating or going to be celebrating ways that you've let go of emotional attachments or emotional insecurity. This is coming through as emotional maturity. How many times am I going to say emotion? And I feel here with the celebration and even some cards coming out, there's many potentialities here for you. I'm going to just take a second to pause here and recognize that that's a pig. Didn't even see it. But the 6 of Wands, the pig has won. I love that. It's like the prize pig, I'm even being brought to that, what's that movie with the freaking pig? It's like a famous pig. And he's like put into the award, not the one with the Charlotte's Web, the Babe, is it Babe? Obviously the Charlotte's Web one comes through as well, because I just feel that you've been left to feel uncelebrated or barren for a while, and there's this Six of Wands here in reverse. It very much feels like, you're carrying the torch, and as you're about to be celebrated, you're dunking it in water. So many individuals give up right before their moment, and I hate to hear that storyline actually coming up here, because I feel like I'm I'm like hearing that as like a very sad story that is so true for so many of us in collective ways. We just don't have this way of believing in our outreach, and you got to believe in yourself and in your purpose of your path and your unique path. This doesn't have to come through in ways, Six of Wands can sometimes depict fame or acknowledgement of your accomplishments, or of your emotional fortitude and ability to stay afloat during this time while also building something substantial. I don't know what that is, but I feel like it's something that is very worthy of more death, of more honor than what you're giving it here with the Five of Cups, or we're giving it. I think that even with the Six of Wands in reverse here, you may be a little bit of in the defeat mindset, or coming out of that mindset here with the death here. I feel like you're putting it to bed. Like I said that before, there could be paths or something like that is like being completely closed off for you now, or just like better habits or better mindsets. It's interesting because suddenly I've lost, sometimes that happens with the channel, I've lost the thread of what I was channeling for you in the beginning, and sometimes I just don't remember what I've said, and I can't go any further back because I fear that I might go into a pile before and not remember correctly. And that's interesting because it could just be a signifier of you also learning that the way things were done before doesn't mean that they have to be done again that way in order for you to succeed. They may have were successful for you before, but there's a reason why you've been led to this stagnancy now. Were they all that successful if they aren't no longer working for you? And so there's a death here. Look, the star. And I feel that there's like a celebration happening with your way of doing things, your consciousness, your approach, especially when it comes to being able to compost or use energies to transition this growth. I'm really getting a lot to do with the vulture here, the Six of Wands in reverse, the Five of Cups, and the star. Nothing goes to waste. Okay, this is again coming back to the elements. Like if you've been feeling very connected to the water energy, I feel like that's coming a lot up here, up a lot here for you. I also a lot up here for you, and I feel that there's some crossed wires that you've been working on uncrossing, and especially when it comes to your emotional connections, like it triggering the in proportionate emotional response, if that makes sense. Like PTSD or a trauma response, or like a just like being stuck in a pattern that is a wound that is just been needing its cycle to run out, and you've been allowing and been witnessing from a higher perspective, and instead of rushing ahead, you've slowed down. And maybe instead of dunking it underwater, you've recognized that this flame will never actually be put out, but instead, as you hold space within the depths of this ocean, you don't drown, you learn you can breathe, that you have the ability to even transmute this water and utilize it for your growth and carry it forward within your vessel more so than others before you. Because how could there be so much water that could come up? You are my crying pile. If you have not been crying, I think that you need a good cry. I do feel that there is something here waiting for you to, like a ritual bath. It's funny because I just started watching the show Cloak and Dagger. I've seen it like before, but not all the way through. And I've been playing the video game Marvel Rivals, and I love the character Cloak and Dagger. And I'm the type, I get hyper fixated when I'm, really into something. So I want to go and absorb any of the media that it's been, like whether it's books or comics or, I don't do it everywhere, but I research the character or whatever it may be, right? And maybe this resonates for you. You could be a really big researcher, very into, especially with the Aquarius energy coming up here. You're very much into uh I feel like a lot of esoteric draw for you as well. So like you could be looking on pathways that are like trying to utilize this intensity of emotion, or intensity in one way or another, like a death or a transition. Your guides or your body won't understand the difference. Like it is either a victory or a loss, and if you are clear with your consciousness, you can really put good use to just being, a little bit of Delulu can really help you transition this magic. Okay. And I want to be conscious of how I'm saying that to some of you, because there's a couple of you here that I think are not consciously doing this, and it's more happening on a subconscious layer. So just try to not stop doing what you're doing. Like if you think you're overly emotional, like get in that shower and cry it out, hun, because I'm telling you, the tears you're crying are tears of gold. And they are again, with the compost coming up, they are rivers that are leading back to the gardens. I feel like every pile is connected. Can I do a pick a pile? It has happened, like multiple pick a piles over the past couple of months have become like threads of a message. And you may have felt drawn to pile 2 or pile 1, and if that is something that is resonating for you, then go and watch them. Watch this as a, whatever order it resonates for you. But there is definite connected threads of consciousness here, and this is the overall like collective I feel like I'm reading for too. We are like a unit. We are an overall unit of torchbearers, and I love you all so much. And I hope that this message is finding new individuals alongside our old individuals, so that we can help our pathways really like evolve. Because I feel there's this expansion that is happening, and I desire it for myself, not just like for more people. I really am not looking for that altogether, but to feel the expansion of the rivers. Like, when you have multiple trickles of rivers going out, and then suddenly they come together into an entire like lake or ocean. Like I am a individual raindrop, but then I'm also part of the overall consciousness. And there has been a lot of trying energies of these like trials coming up for you as a collective, and I feel that you've been coming through them in ways that before would have emotionally exhausted you. But you're so far past exhaustion that there's nothing to be done but other than to be reborn. It's interesting here, pile 3. Let me pull cards for you now. I want to actually, I haven't done a clarifier for anybody else. Let me just pull a clarifier. Oh, look, the Emperor, the Magician, and the Lovers. Look, I did feel like the Magician energy for you. So let me just see here. What is this burnout here? This 5 of Cups. You just can't seem to let go of it as you're trying to put it to bed. And instead you're carrying it forward because you're meant to. My ear just started ringing. Like maybe you're not supposed to close it out. Like stop fighting it. Stop fighting it. Wheel of Fortune. Stop fighting it. 7 of Wands, 5 of Wands here. You're trying to cut out the weed, but the weed is actually nourishing the stalks. Like you feel like you're not seeing the overall abundance. It's funny, the mailman just drove by and he was like, literally, we made eye contact. And he didn't have anything for my mailbox. And so I just feel like that then in itself, like the Wheel of Fortune is here. Like are you the pilot? I said just keep doing what you're doing. You are. Like there's something you've put into play, like the Wheel of Fortune here and like the star here. I don't even know why you're here at this message. Like, why am I here doing this message, guides? Like, what do you want for this as a confirmation, or like I just feel like there's something here for you, but I don't want to spoil it. So let me just keep going. I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to keep going like I did with the other cards, like the other people. I am going to read your songs, not of these clarifiers, but the key. See, I'm telling you, I'm not making it up. The 5 of Wands, the 7 of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune. You reached your hand out to the universe. You said, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to have pruned every part of myself down to the core to be celebrated. I deserve to be free of this situation And I know that I will be simply by reaching out my hand. And that was the key. Inner calling, clarity, intention, nest, charity, generosity, gratitude. I really do feel that for you, Pyle. You're like my philanthropic Pyle, like very humanitarian, very like purpose driven for the whole. Like you may even look at yourself as an earth angel, and like there's this trauma you're not able to let go of. But like I think you've been trying so long to let go of it. Stop trying to let go of it. Like that's the advice. And that's weird to say, because oftentimes I feel like we like our natural thing is to like move on, right? Not let go of a way, like not let go in a way that like we have to recognize. I just feel like I can't speak to you. I don't know, like there's so many wires, like I'm overwhelmed and I want to slow myself down, but at the same time I feel like if I slow down I will lose the momentum. And I think that all of this is part of your message. Okay, there is just like this like constant looking at what needs to be done, that needs to be stopped. I feel like I know somebody that's in this pile that I know is going to pick this pile. Love you, I see you. And I can't help but your consciousness is coming through, and I'm not going to clock you out loud here because there's no reason for that, because it's I'm here too. I'm here as well. I have seen myself in every pile. And I guess right now the reason why I've also been avoiding doing readings, I'm going to tell you, is because I can't do a reading without clocking myself in it right now. And there's nothing wrong with that, especially with the ability to separate, because there's a connective thread for all of us. There's growth connected through all of this whole reason of doing it. The reason I started doing this, whole purpose of doing this, was so that I could connect with humanity more. Because I'll tell you, I never connect with humans more than when I'm doing readings for them. I never connect with individuals more than when I feel like I see us in each other, and I see you and I see me, and I see how much your struggles are my struggles and my struggles are your struggles. And I think that's beautiful. And I want more of these readings to come through and be acknowledged in a community way, and not feel like it's bad to see myself in the reading or to acknowledge it or to connect in a human way with you in the reading. Like I see you wanting to bundle up in a pile and say like, I've done so much work, I just don't have any more to put forward, because I'm trying to let go of the luggage I've been carrying for so long. But babe, I think you were the nest creator and the nest giver and the at the same time death. Like like you were the one that was always going to be the beginning, the middle, and the end. The goddess Hecate here again. You've evolved through every step, and it's giving Lilia from uh Agatha all along. Like when she finally got the final puzzle piece at the end. And look, vulture, okay, double vulture, death, okay, charity. I mean, this deck is like death, very death connected. Charity, generosity, and gratitude. Like through your, and I do not want to use the word sacrifice, because I think the time that when you finally let go of trying to let go of all of this, and you finally realize that this was part of your journey, all of this emotion, all of this like this way of being this like creature that is there for all of it, all of it. I think that when you finally accept that, you will be able to encompass it in a way that is so much more empowered, and not feeling the burnout, not feeling the exhaustion that you felt before. And I'm going to take all of these. Ooh, look how that one is face down as I do it. Okay. So shadow, wholeness, integration, repressed emotions. I mean, I'm literally, look, the Grim fucking Reaper. Here's your inner child. Here's you, the evolved version of you, this white, this higher self. And here's the Grim Reaper: wholeness, integration, repressed emotions. I mean, conjure, higher self, fertility and creativity, and blood moon, illusion, uncertainty, narcissism. There's definitely messages for you in pile 1 and pile 2 here. Okay, let's see what is here for you as well. Blossom. I feel like your aura has become pure white, and that means that you literally alchemize everything. You can turn everything into pure gold. Everything becomes what it's meant to be around you. Lifetime, what is it? Unfamiliar territory. I think in this lifetime, you've put yourself in a very unfamiliar place. This is something that might feel very challenging for you this time around because you've never sacrificed this much. And where's that word sacrifice again? In order to transform this much. There is something else about you moving forward. I don't know if it's necessarily like physical moving, because I feel like you've been cultivating a garden. Like I said in Pal 2, something about garden is very prevalent. There's a lot of flowers here for you, a lot of flowers coming up. Fear, anger. Yeah, I think this is something you're finally you're finally learning that these are like the same side of the same coin. Like they're not two different sides of the coin, they're linked to each other. The fear and the anger are one. And when you finally recognize that, they'll dissipate, and you'll be able to recognize the other side of your coin was actually so much more powerful, so much more valuable, and was not actually tainted by the fear or the anger like this side was. You've healed your masculine. I remember the Emperor was coming up before. You've healed your masculine energy in a way that your feminine can now finally integrate their presence fully. Fear, anger, and go with the flow in reverse. I feel like you're finally stepping into an energy where you going with the flow is not getting to control. Going with the flow is stepping out into an environment but recognize that is unknown for you, unfamiliar, but being able to know that you'll have everything you need because you've been gifted the tools. And if you do bring any fear or anger up, you can hold space for those emotions and not ignore them and shut them down, but not give them your full consciousness or your sway of your overall idea of your life. Because your idea of your life is giving you this, what you give the spotlight to, and this energy of you being able to control what you can control is where you put your mind, where you put your light, and how you utilize the emotions in the transformation. If you're constantly navigating them in a way that gives them pathways of growth and also honor in the light and in the shadow, what more could you be doing? What more could you be doing? Let yourself see. There's a lot of Aquarian energy here, okay? Let yourself see. Let yourself see yourself for who you truly are, and then go forward with that acknowledgement and recognize that any weight you're carrying, though you can let go of a lot of it, okay? You don't have to carry it all. I don't mean just carry that baggage. You can finally say, I'm meant to be carrying this. I was given this load. This is the path I was meant to walk, and I'm going to do it fully. It's uncomfortable at times. People don't always see my value, but I do. And I walk in that value. I don't walk in the shadows. I walk in the light, but I shine amongst the stars. I love you, Paw 3. Thank you for being here. Subscribe, comment below. Have a wonderful day, Torchbearers.